Helmets, masks, and wearable items were featured in Call of Duty Zombies that's often forgotten. Many of them are known from just one map, but they've been in Zombies since back in Black Ops 1 and technically all the way up until Black Ops 4 Zombies. Some of them require extensive Easter egg hunts, and others you can simply just craft. So in this video, I'm gonna be ranking and explaining every wearable item that has ever appeared in Call of Duty Zombies. First up, we got the PES, or the astronaut helmet from Moon. It doesn't really compare to the other items on this list because it wasn't an Easter egg, but it still was technically the first wearable item to ever appear, other than letting you breathe on the moon. It also makes you immune to Nova Crawler gas, so that's pretty cool. It's nothing too crazy, but it's not bad, so I'm gonna put this one at C tier. The next item we got is the golden helmet from Origins. This is the only helmet to appear in Black Ops 2, but it's also the first actual item on this list that I would consider an Easter egg. To obtain it, first you gotta pick up the shovel and dig 30 dig sites around the map until you eventually get the golden shovel. After that, you gotta continue digging until randomly you'll eventually get the golden helmet. This helmet is pretty cool because it allows you to not die when you get stepped on by a robot. The only issue I have with it is that it can take a little while to get, especially if you're unlucky with your RNG, but the reward is pretty solid, so I'm gonna have to put this one at A tier. Moving into Black Ops 3, this was the main game that really went all in on the helmets and the masks. Starting in Shadows of Evil, we got the Maree Head. It's kinda ass. To obtain this, first you gotta start by completing the upgraded Apothecon sword, which is already its own entire journey. On top of that, you need to have killed 6 Margwas. After that, you need to ride the train to shoot 6 hidden Margwa hearts outside of the map. You have to do it all in 2 train rides to be able to get them, and if you don't, then you have to restart the whole thing. Some of the locations are really difficult too, and you pretty much need a ray gun to even be able to do this, or else it's just going to be really hard. After you get them, you have to look all around the map for this little orb, and once you collect it, it finally gives you the head. All it does is give resistance to Margwa slam attacks, and it still seems pretty dookie, so I'm gonna have to put this one all the way down at F tier. On the flip side, next up in the Horizon Drac, we got the Panzer Claw helmet, which was a big step up from the last one. To get this, you need to shoot down 3 Panzer Claws around the map, and whenever a Panzer walks in front of it, you have to shoot it to kill the Panzer. After you kill all 3, the claw will automatically be on your head, so it's super simple to get. The hardest part is getting the 3 Panzers, but pro tip, if you repeat the first step of the Easter egg over and over, you can get a new Panzer every single round if you want to do it very early. The helmet itself makes you immune to Panzer's melee attacks, which is great, but honestly I think the process of getting it is the best part because it basically just allows you to kill 3 random Panzers whenever you want for free whenever you choose to, which is usually what I use it for. Overall though, this helmet is pretty solid, so I'm gonna have to give it a B tier. The gas mask on Zetsubo no Shima is kind of a strange one. Unlike every other mask in the game, it's the only one that isn't really an Easter egg. It's actually the only wearable item that could ever be crafted in Zombies as far as I know. To get this, you simply have to find 3 parts around the map, and then you can just build it at a workbench. Whenever you wear it, the mask protects you against gas from the spores around the map and the spores from the thrashers. It's also needed for the Easter egg. It's pretty good, but since it's not like a cool Easter egg like the other ones, I'm gonna have to slide this one at B tier. Next up, we got Garad Krovi, which actually has not only 1, not 2, but 3 wearable items, with one of them not even being a helmet or a mask. But anyways, first up we got the Mangler Helmet. To obtain this, you gotta shoot the helmet off of 5 Russian Manglers, as well as 5 of their arm cannons. I don't know why I was having a bad time trying to get this one, and I might be a little bit slow, but to make this easier, you can do most of this challenge while doing the lockdown for the Dragon Strike. The helmet gives you a 30% damage increase to the Manglers, and also a 50% damage reduction from the Manglers. It's also useful during the Nikolai part of the boss fight. It's alright, but it's not amazing, so I'm gonna have to give this one B tier. The Valkyrie Helmet is low-key pretty ass. To obtain this, first you gotta shoot the cameras and all the arms off of 6 Valkyrie drones. Once you pick up the helmet, you get a 30% damage increase to the drones, a 50% damage reduction from the Valkyrie drones, and 50% electrical damage reduction. The reason I say it's kinda ass is because it takes a while to get, and on top of that, the drones aren't really that much of a problem in the first place, at least in my opinion, especially compared to the others. So for that, I'm gonna have to drop it all the way down at D tier. The last item we got on the map is the Dragon Wings. To obtain this, first you gotta obtain the Gauntlet of Siegfried, get a Dragon Strike, and then you have to ride the dragon from all 3 locations in the map. It's a pretty lengthy process if you're solely going for the wings, but most of the steps you'll end up doing anyways if you're just playing. The wings give you 30% explosive damage resistance, 30% fire damage resistance, and it lets you ride the dragons for free. And the coolest part in my opinion is that you can literally instantly teleport to the Pack-a-Punch location without even having to ride the dragon there. It's pretty useful in the boss fight, similar to the Mangler Helmet, specifically on the dragon part, so for that, I'm gonna have to put this one at B tier. Finally, we made it to Revelations, which featured about half of all the wearable items in Call of Duty Zombies. Starting out, we got the dire Wolfhead. First, you need to activate the zero gravity in the Horizon Drac. While it's active, you need to throw a grenade inside this little hole above the Kudo wallby, and a wolf skull should pop out. Finally, you need to get 15 kills near it while zero gravity is activated, and once you completed it, you can pick it up in the theater. All the helmet really does is give you purple stamina, which increases your sprint duration, but there's a hidden feature that actually helps another mask become one of the best in all of Call of Duty Zombies, but I'll get into that later. The helmet itself doesn't really do that much though, so I'm gonna have to give it a C tier. Next up, we got the Helmet of Siegfried. To get this one, you need to shoot the numbers 935 on this clock above your rising truck. Once you do that, you need to fill up 5 electric urns around the map by getting 6 zombie headshots near them. After that, you're already done, and once you pick it up, it gives you purple Juggernog, which adds an additional hit that you can take. It's pretty easy to do and it doesn't take long, so I'm gonna have to give this one an A tier. So on this map, the Maree Head returns from Shadows of Evil, but with a different way to unlock it, and it also has some new effects. To get this one, you have to kill every Maree type with 1 shot to every head, and you can't use any of the wonder weapons to do it. Whenever you wear it, the head gives you a 50% damage reduction from all the Maree attacks, 33% more damage to the Maree, increased sprint duration, and a hidden effect that makes you immune to all void Maree special attacks. What makes this annoying to get is the amount of time it takes to find all 3 types of Maree. One of them spawns about every 12 to 13 rounds, and you have to get lucky, and on top of that, you also have to get lucky to make sure you get the right one. You can do what I did and just train the last zombie around at the Apothecon, so that way they randomly spawn here and there, but even then, it still takes a while, and it's just boring. I'd say it's a lot better than the one on Shadows of Evil, but it's still pretty mid, so I might have to give this one a low C tier. The Fury Head is obtained simply by getting 15 Fury headshots. It's a little bit tricky to hit them, but if you just keep trying every time you see one, especially during the Parasite rounds, it shouldn't take too long. This head gives you 33% damage reduction from the Fury melee attacks, 50% more damage to the Furies, and then once again purple Juggernog, which gives you an extra hit from the zombies. It's actually not too bad to get, and the helmet itself is alright, mostly for the purple Juggernog, but if that's the reason you want it, there's a lot of better options, so I'm gonna have to give it a high C tier. The Keeper Skull Head is one of my favorite out of all the wearable items in Call of Duty Zombies. To obtain it, you first need to build the Keeper Protector by finding 3 parts around the map and building it at one of the locations. Once you do that, you need to summon the Keeper and have him kill about 30 zombies. The next step is getting about 7 to 10 Keeper kills with the Corruption Turret, and then you'll be able to pick up the head at the theater. The Corruption Turret step is actually pretty long and tedious, but the cool thing is that if you unlock the Wolfhead before, you can entirely skip that step and you can unlock the Keeper head as soon as you get 30 zombie kills with the Keeper. Wearing the head gives you an extra hit from the zombies, 50% damage reduction from the Keepers, and 33% more damage to the Keepers. And on top of that, the Keeper Protector also lasts 30 seconds longer. I think that this is probably one of the most easy and efficient ways to get the purple Juggernog, plus you get some other benefits with it that are pretty solid, which is why I will be putting this one at A tier. Next up, we got the Helmet of the King. The first step is shooting the helmet off of the Panzer Soldat. After that, you need to shoot the core even after it breaks until you hear the audio cue. You can do this all with one Panzer if you're careful, but if not, you gotta wait till a second one comes in. The helmet gives you a 50% damage reduction from all boss attacks, 33% more damage to bosses, immunity to elemental zombie death effects, increased sprint duration, and no damage or stun by the Panzer's shock mines and the Maree special attack. It's actually pretty easy if you do it first try, so I might have to give this one A tier. Als Hat can be found inside of the Mob of the Dead area, and it's the only wearable item in Call of Duty Zombies history to literally do nothing. It's actually pretty cool because of the Mob of the Dead reference, but I need something to put at F tier, so for functionality, I'm gonna have to put this one at F tier. Last in Revelations, but definitely not least, the Apothecon Mask is undoubtedly the best and most useful wearable item to ever appear in Call of Duty Zombies, but the process to getting it is probably one of the longest. To obtain it, the following enemies must be killed in the Apothecon's stomach acid while it's gassed up, which happens about every 3 minutes. While it's gassed up, you need to kill 15 parasites, 5 enslaved keepers, 15 spiders, 10 furies, 50 zombies, and 3 different Maree. Once you get all those completed, you can finally pick up the mask in the theater. The helmet gives you an extra hit from all the enemies, increased sprint duration, 50% more damage against all enemies, 33% damage reduction from all enemies, and no stuns from the Panzer shock mines or the void Margwa's flying skulls. You don't need this mask for high rounds, but if you do, it's pretty much like having God mode, but without God mode. So if you get the chance, I would definitely go for it every game. Whenever I was doing this, because I haven't done it in a while for at least like a few years, I thought it was going to be really difficult and just take forever, but when I tried it, actually did not take that long, and I was able to complete it in the early-ish round 20s. But yeah, considering the effects you get and how you unlock it, I'm gonna have to put this one at S tier. And last but not least, in Black Ops 4 Zombies, we got the face paint, so that's just going to S tier. So yeah, here's my final completed tier list of all the masks. And for my complete ranking, we got Als Hat at 16, the Maree Head from Shadows of Evil at 15, the Valkyrie Helmet at 14, Astronaut Helmet at 13, the Dire Wolf Helmet at 12, the Maree Head from Revelations at 11, the Fury Mask at 10, the Mangler Helmet at 9, the Dragon Wings at 8, the Gas Mask at 7, the Panzer Claw Helmet at 6, the Golden Helmet at 5, the Helmet of Siegfried at 4, the Helmet of the King at 3, the Keeper Mask at 2, and the Apothecon Mask at 1. Let me know what y'all think about the list in the comments and what y'all would change. My throat is now completely dry from recording, so make sure you drop a like and subscribe. I also live stream every Saturday on the channel, so join the Discord for updates, or feel free to tap in if you see me going lives on Saturday or whatever. But yeah, feel free to drop a sub. Peace.